All right, we have the fight night card of the year. Honestly, it's a little bit weaker without Movzar and Pico on it, but honestly, it's still such a sick card. UFC Fight Night Abu Dhabi is this week. It's Whittaker de Ritter. This is going to be awesome. It's going to start at 12 o'clock on the East Coast. I will be on the course golfing, but my buddy Stevo, shout out Stevo, he's bringing his iPad so we can be watching the fights the whole time. We'll probably be done golfing by the time not the main card starts, but we'll probably be three fights into the main card at that point, so I'll be able to see Petr Yan without distractions. I'll be able to see Whittaker without distractions, but I'm okay with my tee time starting a couple minutes before Boudet versus Buchacha. And that's the first fight we're going to talk about. I'm 186 versus and 92 overall, so I'm over 67% again. We're coming back, dude. I've been hanging around that number a lot. I had a couple of bad weeks back to back, but we're pulling it back together here. Martin Boudet versus Marcus Buchacha. I'm going to keep it real, dude. I know Buchacha was in one. I've never seen him fight. I couldn't be bothered to look at film on this guy. I don't care about the heavyweights in one. It's just such a weak. The upper weight classes in one are so weak. And then I know we're talking about Reinier de Ritter, who was a double champ. And he is destroying people in the UFC. But that changes this weekend, maybe. We'll see. I'm going to go with Martin Boudet here. I'm seeing him as a plus 240 underdog, and I'm going to start with a Boudet underdog on this card. Listen, I understand that the reach of Buchacha is more, but from everything I've seen, Buchacha's a submission jiu-jitsu type guy. I understand he's more athletic than Boudet. I get that. He's going to be in better shape. I don't know, dude. I can just see Boudet just blobbing him up against the cage. Like, let's do this together here. Whereas, he's fighting an American top team. I got a lot of respect for American top team fighters. Who the fuck is Alak Biari? 13-4. Some Iranian guy. Who's a first round. I mean, it's actually not a terrible record to go against. Okay. AKA Thailand is where this guy fights out of. Shit. He lost to Umar Kane, probably, who's 7-1. Okay. Okay. Out of Senegal. Uh Grashenko. I mean, dude, who are these guys, man? What is the activity of Buchacha, too? Not very active. Not totally inactive, but this guy hasn't fought in a long fucking time. Actually, it's not that long. It's like 10 months. Dude, I don't know what to think, man. Like, someone tell me what to fucking think. I'm just gonna go with the UFC guy, dude. Fuck it. I'm picking Budai. We're in Abu Dhabi. He's from Slovakia. They got no problem fucking ruining a prospect that they want to. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with Budai, dude. I can see him just smudging this up against the cage for a while in a boring, lackluster decision. It's impossible to pick on ranked heavyweights, bro. Moving on, Steve Nguyen versus Muhammad Yahya. I'm picking Steve Nguyen. Now, I could see this going to decision and them robbing Nguyen and giving it to Yahya because it's in the UAE. It's the only fighter that they have, but Muhammad Yahya is so bad. He is so bad, and I can see Steven Nguyen getting a finish here. Does like to strike a lot. Like, dude, he's lost to Trevor Peek. When they were in Abu Dhabi, they gave Peek the decision. So that's something to look at, right? He got smoked by Caio Fernandez. This just feels like a fucking raw. I'm calling it right now. Nguyen's winning this fight. I'm picking Nguyen. I smell robbery all over this one, dude. I smell robbery all over this fight. We always get one early, and I think this is going to be the one. But if Steve Nguyen gets a finish, it's not going to be. And Steve Nguyen does have finishes in his career. He's got 7 finishes out of his 9 wins. Knocked out AJ Cunningham on the Contender Series. That's a good win. He lost to Jarno Aarons, but that was the best Jarno Aarons has literally ever looked. He's never looked that good in his life. And this guy's Steve Nguyen's taken a ton of, March of 24 was the last time they fought. This guy's taken over a year off. He's at Fortis. I'm hoping he's just working on improvements. I'm going to pick Steve Nguyen here to get this one done. Round 2 TKO. Round 3 KO. I'm going to pick Steve Nguyen. I think his hands are much better. I think Muhammad Yahya is just shit, dude. I'm going to keep it real. Ibo Aslan versus Billy Elikana. I'm picking Ibo Aslan. I think he gets this one done by knockout. I do think Billy Elikana looked pretty slick against what was it, Bogdan Guskov? Yeah, he lost to Guskov by submission, but he looked slick and fast at moments. But I think Ibo Aslan hits way harder than Guskov. I think he kind of puts it on his opponents a little bit more. He's faster. Guskov is just tough, and he did end up getting a submission, but I don't see Aslan getting a submission here. I think he's going to find a round 1 KO. I do think Billy Elikana is a middleweight. I know he fought decent at light heavyweight here, but and Southpaw could be tricky. I like Elikana's kicks, honestly. But I think Ibo Aslan is a little bit. I think he's just going to have the advantage in this fight here. I think he's going to beat Billy Elikana by KO in round 1. I think it's going to be another flurry of punches type thing where he just puts it on Billy Elikana and ends up winning in the first. So, Ibo Aslan, round 1 KO. Moving on. Amanda Ribas versus Tabitha Ricci. I'm actually going to go with Tabitha Ricci here. I don't think she's that good at all. I'm going to say that. And Amanda Ribas is usually better at strawweight, so I will. Or is she better at flyweight? Is she the reverse Andrade? She lost at flyweight to Rose, lost at strawweight to Dern, won at flyweight to Pinheiro, or won at strawweight to Pinheiro. I think Ribas is going to need to get this one to the ground to win, and I don't think she's going to do that. Not that Ricci's good at striking like at all, but they're willing to consistently give her robbery decisions. She's coming off a slaughtery that was a fight against Yan Xiaonan. Yan Xiaonan is very, very good. I thought Ricci lost to Lupi Godinez. I thought she lost to Angela Hill, but it was close. I thought she lost to Tisha Pennington. Again, it was close. Thought she lost to Lupi Godinez. It was a split. That was a bad scorecard. And then she beat Jillian Robertson. Again, another close fight. I really think that Tabitha Ricci's jiu-jitsu is very good. But she has problems in getting fights to the ground. And that's where I see Ribas possibly doing all right here. But I can see Ricci winning this fight on volume. I've seen Ribas gas out a couple of times. And I'm going to pick the underdog in Ricci here. I just think that the amount of times they've given her fights, I think it's too hard to pass up on her as an underdog here. So I'm going to pick Tabitha Ricci. I mean, Tabitha Ricci, man. Moving on, Davy Grant versus Damone Blackshear. Dude, I'm doing it. I'm picking Davy Grant. I think Damone Blackshear's striking is very lackluster. Very, very lackluster. The occasional good kicks. Likes to throw out the jab every here and there, but he's super hittable. His jiu-jitsu is nasty. Davy Grant is also very slick in the grappling. He's a very hard man to submit. Very slick in the grappling. I can see Davy Grant just outcrafting him to a decision here. That's what I think's happening. I know, all right, so he's been submitted 4 times here. But how long ago was that, dude? That was a long-ass time ago. He got subbed last time he got subbed was 2018. 2018 was the last time he got subbed by a couple of randos. And he clearly fixed that in his fights. He fights Chito Vera, loses the decision. Arguably beats Adrian Yanez. Arguably beats Daniel Marcos. This guy low-key is on a fucking 5-fight win streak, in my opinion. I think Davy Grant's solid. He's beaten like Jonathan Martinez by knockout. He's gotten good wins here, bro. He's schooled Ramon Tavares. Absolutely schooled him in his last fight. I think he schools Damone Blackshear here. I think he's going to win a 29-28 decision. I think that there's some moments that Blackshear has in round 1, lands some good body kicks, lands a couple of kicks low, gets some punches off, shoots, maybe gets a takedown, but can't get the submission on Davy Grant. And then round 2 starts and Davy Grant just schools him. I'm going to pick Davy Grant in this fight. I think his striking is so much better, so much more unorthodox, so much more unique. And I think he's an all-around better fighter than Damone Blackshear. I don't care about the age here. I actually don't have a problem with it. Davy Grant has proven to be better as it's been later in his career. He's sneaky riding a 5-fight win streak, bro. It's like a sneaky 5-fight win streak. Sorry, it's leaking. Daniel Marcos, good competitor. He kind of beat him. He did beat him, in my opinion, even though I picked Marcos in that fight. It's okay. I'm happy. Adrian Yanez, he beat him. And then he actually knocked out like Jonathan Martinez. That's really good comp. And if you're asking me, That Jonathan Martinez win is huge to me because I rank, as you know, I rank Jonathan Martinez very high. Um, I'm going Davy Grant underdog pick here. I'm telling you, bro. I'm picking Davy Grant. Plus 250. He's getting a decision win here. I'm taking it. Muslim Salikov versus Carlos Leal. I'm going to pick Carlos Leal. I think this is a pretty easy one. Salikov has looked good in his last couple fights, but it's against other older, crafty kind of opponents, right? It's against guys that he can still outspeed and outstrike and stuff, like Song Kanan, Santiago Ponzinibbio, which he arguably lost. But then he fights the younger guys, the Dalbys, and Dalby's not even young, he's just still aggressive, right? Randy Brown, younger guy, he loses. Beat Fialho. I mean, who didn't beat Fialho on that little losing streak that he had there? I mean, I think Carlos Leal is just dangerous. He's young. He's going to move forward the whole time. It's going to be hard for Salikov to get a lot of his kicks off with the distance that he's going to be at here with Leal, because I think Leal is just going to trudge forward at him. And Leal, in my opinion, is undefeated in the UFC. And he always fights in Abu Dhabi, this guy. Am I crazy? Oh, it was Pereira Ankh, so that was in the US too. Okay. So he lost to Fakhretdinov in Abu Dhabi when he clearly won 30-27. It was a clear 30-27. They robbed him. Um, this guy destroyed Alex Morono. Wow, pardon that voice crack. And I think he's going to go out there and I think he's going to beat Muslim Salikov. I think he's going to get a first or second round KO here. I think he's got the tank to pour it on in round one. And I think that Salikov's going to have a hard time in the boxing when Leal's moving forward a lot. Salikov's good with his kicks, but I think that Carlos Leal is going to be able to dominate in this fight. So I'm going to pick Carlos Leal to win this fight. First round knockout. I think he's going to look good in this one. This is going to be another win here. Carlos Leal. Did I say Salikov? I meant Carlos Leal, round 1 KO. That's the pick. Said Nurmagomedov versus Bryce Mitchell. I'm scared for Bryce in this one, man. Not that Said is that good, right? But he's fast. He is dangerous. He always gasses out. And he has great front chokes. And we see Bryce Mitchell go for takedowns that get him stuck in front chokes a lot. I like Bryce Mitchell a lot. And I really want him to win this fight. I think he can win this fight. I think he can get takedowns on Said Nurmagomedov. I think he can drain him late. But when I'm looking at Bryce Mitchell's recent fights, the guys he's losing to are fucking hard-hitting, tough killers. Said Nurmagomedov hits hard. He's fast. John Silva's incredibly fast, future champion of the sport. Josh Emmett just fucking pounded him with a KO. He destroyed Crone Gracie. He beats Dan Ige. He gets destroyed by Ilya. But then it's like he beat Edson. That's a close kind of opponent to Said Nurmagomedov. Fast, dangerous with the kicks. But the front choke isn't there for Edson. You know what I mean? Where Bryce Mitchell's able to kind of walk him down a little bit there. Beats Feely, beats Rosa. Again, those aren't huge wins, but my heart's telling me Bryce Mitchell. My head's telling me Said's going to find a way to get him, bro. And this weight cut to 135 for Bryce could be very, very scary. I don't know how he's going to react to it. I don't know how he's going to... He's going to be bigger than Said in there, bro. He's going to look massive next to Said. But is this weight cut going to drain him? You know what, dude? I think he's going to be much bigger than Said in there. I can see Said latching up a front choke. I can. But I'm actually going to pick Bryce Mitchell to win this one with consistent takedowns. I mean, then again, Said Nurmagomedov is a Nurmagomedov. We're fighting in Abu Dhabi against Bryce Mitchell, a guy that the people in Abu Dhabi probably don't love too much, right? If it goes to decision, I could absolutely be seeing a robbery go to Said here. Again. You know what? I want to say this for the record. Said's good, but he's not elite. Like, he's not that good. You know what I mean? This is one of the I think this is the hardest fight to pick on the card. And it's on the prelims? What the fuck did they put above it? Tell me they put fucking... Okay, those are good fights. Those are great fights. I'm going to pick... Saeed, bro. I'm going to go with the finishability here of Saeed. The size of Bryce Mitchell is something to absolutely be weary of here. The sheer size, the takedown ability, the ability for him to probably dominate in the grappling a little bit here. Oh my god, I'm going to keep going back and forth on this, bro. I'm taking Saeed. I love Bryce Mitchell, man. I really do. I love Bryce Mitchell, bro. But I'm going to pick Saeed. I'm going to go with the finishability in this one. I think Saeed can latch up a front choke. I think he can get a like wheel kick KO. I think he can get some crazy shit. Bryce Mitchell did take a bunch of damage against John Silva. He got dropped. He ended up getting submitted out cold too. He struggled to get takedowns on John Silva, but John Silva's got strong hips clearly. And that's like one of the better. It's like him and Taporia are the two guys he's faced. Yeah, he got knocked out by Emmett, but he faced those two guys, and that's when he looked like he got fucking dominated. And Saeed's not that level, bro. He's just not. Like, I need to take a look. I'm sorry, dude. I'm taking so long on this one because it's... Saeed hasn't been finished. Vinicius took him to decision with a fucking destroyed rib. Jonathan Martinez out-decisioned him. And the other guys he's beaten aren't that good. You know what, dude? You know what? He lost to Hany Barcelos. Bro, I don't think Saeed's that good. Fuck it, dude. I don't think Saeed's that good. He's dangerous. He's scary. I'm going Bryce Mitchell, dude. I think he's going to mog him in the takedown department. That's what I'm picking. I think he's going to get takedowns on Saeed Nurmagomedov. I think the beginning of the fight's going to be very scary. But I think he's going to mog him with size in the cage. I think he's going to be able to take him down a bunch of times relentlessly. And I don't think Saeed's going to be able to have the gas tank to get out of round, like, it's going to be round one that Saeed looks good. But I think rounds 2 and 3, Bryce Mitchell's going to just ragdoll him around this octagon, start threatening with chokes, and it's going to be an irrefutable 29-28 decision Bryce Mitchell. That's the final pick. It's 29-28 decision Bryce Mitchell. Nikita Krylov versus Bogdan Guskov. I'm picking Nikita Krylov. I think he's better than Guskov. I think Krylov's hittable. Guskov's more hittable. I think the grappling advantage also goes to Nikita Krylov here. I think he's got more ways to win in this fight. I think he's just better than Guskov. I don't think Guskov's that good. I know he's been training with some talented training partners. Someone that just got a fucking win. I think he trained with Walter Walker, actually. So I'm going to go with Nikita Krylov in this one. I think he's the better fighter. So I'm going to pick him, dude. I think Nikita Krylov wins this one. What am I going to go with? I think he finds a KO. I think someone's bound to KO Guskov. And I'm going to go with Nikita Krylov as the one to do it. He got subbed by Uzdemir. But Krylov, I think it's going to be Krylov finding a KO in this one. So I'm picking Nikita Krylov. Moving on, Asu Almabayev versus Jose Ochoa. I think Jose Ochoa is very good. Who do you have a great fight just with? A great performance. He knocked out Cody Durden in spectacular fashion. He did lose to Loner Kavanaugh in a pretty impressive fight, but I'm going to actually go with Asu Almabayev here. I think where Ochoa might have some struggles, and Ochoa has tremendous submissions, very, very dangerous, like a mini Charles Oliveira, bro. But I think Asu Almabayev is going to be able to out-grapple him to a decision here. I think Asu is going to be quick on the feet also. I think Ochoa is faster, and I think he's more dangerous with the kicks. But I think that Asu Almabayev is going to do pretty well with the movement in this fight. And I think he's going to be able to relentlessly shoot takedowns and have good control on this. I don't think it's going to be a dominant performance. I don't think it's going to be fun at all to watch. Asu Almabayev never has fun fights, but I think Asu's going to be able to get takedowns in this fight, and I think he's going to end up winning a 30-27, 29-28 on one of the scorecards decision here. I'm going Asu Almabayev. He's from Kazakhstan, and I think he's going to be able to get it done against Jose Ochoa in this one. So I'm going to pick Asu Almabayev by decision in this fight. But I think Ochoa puts up a decent fight at moments. It's just Asu Almabayev is going to be too much for him. Shara Magomedov versus Marc-Andre Barriou. This is easy. I'm picking Shara Magomedov. I think that Marc-Andre Barriou can just trudge and power forward at moments. If this gets into round 2 and 3, But I think Shara is going to be too fast for him. I think he's going to chew him up with the low kicks. I think he's going to land big shots upstairs with the hands eventually. Because Shara has a tough time landing with the hands. But I think his kicks are going to be too fast for Marc-Andre Barriault. I think Marc-Andre Barriault is just not that fast. Very plotty, very, very hittable, doesn't move too well. And I think that's the kind of opponent that Shara thrives against. So I'm going to pick Shara by KO in this one. I think he's going to get it done in round 1 or 2. Something nasty, too, like a question mark kick, spinning back kick, spinning kick. I can see him winning with a body shot. So I'm going to pick Shara Magomedov round 1 or 2 KO. I'm going to go round 1. I'm going round 2. Round 2 KO for Shara. Petr Yan versus Marcus McGee. I'm going to pick Petr Yan by masterclass. Marcus McGee is very good. He's very dangerous. Petr Yan's just better, dude. Like, his boxing is some of the best in the UFC, and I think his head movement's going to be impeccable. We've seen Marcus McGee struggle against, like, Jonathan Martinez with the low kicks. I think Petr Yan's just better. This scares me, though. This scares me, because this is the kind of risk that Petr Yan took against Sean O'Malley, and we're like, Petr Yan wins. He's better. And they robbed him. But I don't think they'll rob him for Marcus McGee in this fight. I'm going to keep it real. And Petr Yan is now at this point where he's got momentum. 2 wins in a row against really, really strong talent like Song Yadong and the fuck's his name? Davison Figueiredo. 2 back-to-back wins. Very, very good wins. Now he's getting Marcus McGee. I think that Marcus McGee's a little bit less dangerous than those guys. I do. I don't think he's as fast as Song Yadong. I don't think he's as powerful as Song Yadong. I don't know how his grappling... I think Song Yadong's grappling defense is better than Marcus McGee's as well. So I look at this fight for Petr Yan, and I think he should win it. I think he should be able to outbox Marcus McGee at moments. I think he can get a couple of crafty trip takedowns in this one. Land some really, really good kicks. And Petr Yan's boxing defense is as good as it gets. It is. He's one of the hardest dudes to hit in the UFC. His defense is so good, and he picks up as the fight goes on, yes, but recently in these fights we've seen, he won round 1 against Figgy. He lost round 1 against Song Yadong, but he had moments and he wasn't totally slow. So I think that he's going to be able to win this fight. It should be 30-27. I can see 29-28, him dropping the first in a close one. But I think as this fight goes on, you're going to see Petr Yan start to dominate Marcus McGee. And I'm going to pick him to get this one done by decision in what will be a good fight. I think this will be a banger of a fight. But I think Petr Yan gets it done 30-27, 29-28. Moving on, Reinier de Ridder versus Robert Whittaker. I'm going to pick Robert Whittaker. I do understand that Robert Whittaker can be bullyable at moments. He can. And we've seen a lot of guys main eventing recently with these kind of records. Like Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier very close to this record. And a lot of guys we've seen recently been main eventing with records like this. But it's like... I really do think Robert Whittaker's just better. I think his striking is so much better than Reinier de Ridder's. And I think his grappling defense is good enough where... Like, Reinier de Ridder is a great grappler. He's very physically imposing. He's huge. He's strong. He has good submissions. But I don't think he'll be able to do Robert Whittaker like Khamzat did. And I think that's where Whittaker is going to be able to be at his best. Is blasting low kicks, making it hard for Reinier de Ridder to get off. Landing good punches to kind of keep Reinier de Ridder, you know, almost off him. Be more risk averse, land some uppercuts. I think that Whittaker's going to end up winning this fight. I think there's going to be moments where Reinier de Ridder gets him down and it's scary, but you see that defense of Robert Whittaker. You see the grappling defense. You see the good defensive jiu-jitsu, and I think he's going to be able to survive those moments from Reinier de Ridder and ultimately win this fight on the feet. I don't know if Reinier can go to a decision, bro. I have no idea what he's like in 5 rounds, but I'm going to pick Robert Whittaker to win this fight. 48-47 on one scorecard, 49-46 on 2 scorecards. I think he's going to be able to get this one done. I do. So I'm going to pick Whittaker to win this fight by decision here. I think he gets it done. I think he's a better fighter than Reinier de Ridder. Even though Reinier de Ridder's good, dude. Like, he is very, very good. But I think Whittaker is going to be able to get this one done. So I'm picking Robert Whittaker. We're going to do a last run through of my picks. I'm going Robert Whittaker in the main event by decision. Petr Yan by decision in the co-main. Sharamagomedov by KO, Asu Almabayev by decision, Nikita Krylov by KO, Bryce Mitchell by decision, Carlos Leal to win by knockout, Davy Grant underdog pick by decision, Tabitha Ricci underdog pick by decision, Ibo Aslan by KO, Steve Nguyen by knockout, and Martin Boudet by decision. So those are my picks. I got 3 underdogs on here. Hopefully we can make some money again this weekend. We did pretty good last week. If you follow the gambling channel, I had a really good parlay hit, and I had a couple of great straight bets going as they were coming up. I bet like a lot of the first round finishes in a row in the prelims, and they ended up working out very well. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. If you liked or if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe.